Member for Goldstein.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I rise as a strong defender of freedom, period, and that includes religious freedom as well. And I wear the moniker of Freedom Boy very proudly, don't worry. Despite being without faith, I have always been a strong advocate for religious liberty because it goes to the heart of people's identity and security. A person's faith does not end at the church door any more than sexual orientation ends at the bedroom door. They inform the fullness of our life, our character and our choices. And I take all people's freedom seriously, very seriously. A free society does not seek to homogenise belief or conscience, but instead affirms individuality and diversity and fosters tolerance and mutual respect. The choice that has always faced our country is whether we are a social democracy or a liberal democracy, and I'm in the liberal democracy camp. Social democracies empower government to legislate permissible conduct, but in a liberal democracy we remove barriers to freedom, just like that which is included in the bill around marriage for same-sex couples. We are expanding the freedom for people to marry. But that doesn't mean religious liberty should be discarded. It should be considered as part of the thought process of any legislation. The unlimited freedom of conscience is the freedom to hold and form opinions, religious or otherwise. That is not inhibited by the bill that is before the Parliament. Freedom of speech is the freedom to express and communicate ideas and your conscience. That is not inhibited by the bill before the Parliament either. And of course, everybody is free to disagree with law. Those advocating for change have demonstrated that point clearly. And as the members know, I will always stand up against laws that make it unlawful to offend where they arise. Religious freedom is the freedom to manifest your conscience, as is demonstrated in the report being delivered by the Joint Committee. Free speech and religious freedom have always been tempered by law. They are not an unlimited licence, and if you care about everybody's freedom, not just your own, the objective should be to enlarge the space for these freedoms for everybody, as I always seek to do. Now, left-green progressives would have us believe that religious freedom comes from the United Nations and international treaties. It does not. It comes from a system of law and culture that respects the freedom of the individual and their right to pursue their life, their opportunities and their enterprise. It comes from honouring the traditions of our liberal democracy, where everything is legal unless it explicitly is made illegal. Religious freedom is not protected by creating group rights, bills or charters of rights, or entrenching the language of international treaties in domestic law. The latter is particularly dangerous because it allows courts to use legal interpretations from foreign jurisdictions to interpret Australian law. Not only does it lead to potentially limiting religious liberty, it also undermines our national sovereignty. That is why I will always start from a position of opposing efforts to codify the boundaries of religious liberty, because it will only lead to narrowing it. We should want as much space in the public square for as much freedom as possible, for all people, religious or otherwise, so long as we take account of the rights and freedoms of others. And that is the approach I will continue to take in this Parliament.